Hey everybody, Abby here. This is going to be a very unique soul journey with David Icke. I'm really curious to get to know him more in a deeper, more meaningful way than we could process at the surface of our human minds, okay? So obviously David Icke has made quite a substantial impact and movement and change in the way that we are perceiving the human race. So the human race isn't just human beings, it's human beings and manipulative reptilian beings, right? Trying to create a sight and awareness in a new way. So I'd really like to get to know David Icke more. And so I'm going to go ahead and relax here and get tuned into his deeper essence and see what we can discover about him today in a loving and open-minded way. So I'm going to go ahead and relax and see where this takes us, okay? The first thing I experience is I'm climbing a vertical wall. There are ledges, there are little areas where I can put my hands and my feet in order to accomplish this feat. And I'm still climbing this wall. And I wonder when I will ever reach the top, when I will ever be triumphant, when this work will be done. I stop for a moment and I experience the air and the breeze, and I take a deep breath. And I wonder, who am I? Who am I? I go to David Icke on the wall here and I encourage him to stop climbing this vertical wall. You're going to be climbing this vertical wall for eternity until you decide that today is the day that I'm not going to climb the wall anymore. You have to decide that you are done climbing the wall. And I would love to take you down here to the ground level where this wall began, and you started climbing up and away from this ground level. I'd really like to go down here so we could take a look around. What do you think? He doesn't necessarily say no. He is processing or thinking about this conversation. He's curious about an alternative way, another way. He's feeling sorrow in his heart right now. And there's the development of a space, okay, that he could simply turn around and walk onto that, and he doesn't have to be connected to the wall, and he doesn't have to be on the ground anymore. He could just enter into this space here. And that he could be complete now. He could be done with his work here. And it's very much so like stepping into an alien spaceship that just appears. And then stepping into it, and then his work is complete here. And I say, well, why not manifest that? Let's just do it. Let's just see what happens. Some part of his soul feels that it's as if there's something that hasn't been reconciled yet, and it comes from deep down. Comes from another lifetime. And so he's not really allowed. Even if he were to create that phenomenon, he wouldn't be allowed to enter into that spaceship because of something that his soul did in another lifetime. That's what it's like, okay? I don't know what that thing is. I just know that there is a burden, and the burden says, but I cannot go onto that ship. I'm not allowed. They won't allow me onto that ship. I say, okay, well, then you can climb the wall for the rest of your life. I mean, you have choices here. I would encourage you to stop climbing the wall because that you've already been doing that, and that's a very long time. And you could stop today. And I'm telling you, my friend, going down to the ground level is not as bad as you might think. And I have a feeling you would actually enjoy it more than getting onto the alien spaceship. He really is resisting something about the ground level. And when I say the ground level, I'm talking about Earth here. It feels better, more comfortable for him to be above the planet, his consciousness to be above the planet, but he's not allowed to be fully released from the planet. He doesn't want to go down to the planet. His consciousness doesn't want to go down to the planet. I will say, from my viewpoint, when I look at this perception of the planet, it looks like a barren rock with a lot of old dinosaurs on it. And there's nothing that grows here. There's no plants or anything. It's just a perfectly formed rock. You could find this circular, you could find a rock that looks kind of like this in anybody's just, you know, landscaping rocks or something. It's like white and black, kind of speckled and dusty. And then it's a perfect circle, perfect sphere. And there's random dinosaurs that are just sort of waiting. And there's nothing that grows here. And then obviously we have straight up from the planet is this rock wall, which is the same materials as this planet. I surround David Icke in a new version of land, okay? And so I bring the Earth up to his level so he could just step onto planet Earth instead of stepping onto the spaceship, because we welcome him here. He can come here and hang out. He can stay here. He doesn't like that idea for some reason. He's still resisting that idea. And in this new world, this new Earth emanation, I mean, it's beautiful, grassy. It's very much so like beautiful, pristine Earth. I have many people here, many human beings that say I love you to him. He really feels he's having a hard time allowing that love to be real, allowing him to receive that love. He's having a hard time doing that. And it's the thing that's blocking that love, him being able to absorb that love, is literally something that came from another lifetime. It's a burden that he carries. And he's kind of trapped between two worlds because of this burden. When he just needs to forgive himself or forgive the event. We don't know what it's about. I don't know why he's holding so much weight. He doesn't need to. He could just move on from it and start having new experiences. This is all very interesting because going into David Icke, I had anticipated seeing more reptilians in my face, but I'm not seeing that. I am seeing somebody trapped between two worlds and not able to let go of a wall that they have climbed and not having the freedom to be taken away from planet Earth, so to speak, or giving themselves permission to be fully present on the Earth. It's very interesting. Is David Icke an alien being? Is he a physical alien being here? I'm not saying that he is, just so you know. It's just an idea. It's just an idea. Why would he be waiting? Why would this be so natural to just hi, my alien friends, my other versions of me, my people, you know, coming here and then we can go back home now. That never says yes. That's not going to happen because he has to reconcile something within his soul journey before something new comes along, okay? I'm still working on this. Helping his soul to know how loved he is and that he's welcome here and not to carry the burden. I'm actually going to just allow him to just be in a safe place, and I'm going to show him, I'm literally going to take out the vibration of the burden and I'm just going to show it to him like it's an object. It literally just looks like a black rock and it's kind of like a dodecahedron or some like crazy shape. It's got lots of sides, and then it's black and it's perfectly smooth on all the sides and it's like big. And I show him this dodecahedron or something. That's what it looks like in shape form. And I say, this is the burden you are carrying. And I want you to see this, and I want you to know that you don't have to carry this burden anymore. It's really hard for him to look at it. Very hard. And I'm transforming, so I'm becoming him, and he's holding the burden in his own hands, and it's burning his hands to look at it. It's bothering his soul a lot. The things that we need to reconcile are often the ones that our souls are so resistant to look at. You can imagine having an event happen in your own life where that event really traumatized you, and you'll never want to see that person ever again, or you'll never want to, whatever it is, it's really hard to look at, especially if it's a person that did something terrible to you. It's really hard to look at that person. It's hard to forgive that person. It's hard to. So the soul squirms because it wasn't properly reconciled, because there's so much emotional pain associated with it. So how do we heal from traumatic events? We have to find the ability to forgive literally everything about it, and to let it be a gift of learning, and to be ready for new experiences now. It's literally it, and it could take lifetimes. This is an old thing, just so you know. And it's not hurting David Icke on a conscious level at all. It's actually going to help him, okay? Feel at peace. And I wouldn't say that he's not at peace, by the way. His energy is quite relaxed. He tells me that it's really heavy for him to carry it. It's too heavy for him to carry. And I say, well, it's your weight. You don't have to carry it. You can say, well, it's not my weight anymore, and just let it go. Why do you want to carry this? Inside this object is information, okay? His higher self is okay with this, otherwise I wouldn't be able to see it. So I'm going to go ahead and go inside here. There's a lot of chaos. It's really sad. It's a really sad event. There's a lot of burning of things. It seems like things are on fire. Lots of plants, lots of stuff on fire, and even people are on fire. And it's not Earth. It's not Earth. It's a tragedy. And I don't feel the same emotional relationship with this tragedy as I would if I was human. I see it as an event. I'm not as emotionally distraught by it, but it does create sadness for me. It feels like I couldn't save these people. I couldn't do it. I couldn't help them. And I'm not necessarily disappointed in myself. I'm telling you, the energy, the emotional relationship with this event is not on a human scale, so I don't feel disappointment. I don't feel emotionally distraught like a human being would. But I do feel this in my soul. I do feel this in my soul about what I'm looking at here. And I actually feel that it would only be appropriate for me to be removed in order for me to make amends to the event that I was not able to prevent happening. It's entirely on an alien mind scale. It's just a different way of processing extreme tragedy. It's not as emotional as it is for a human being. But it is still choices, it is still felt, and there is still a relationship with that event, and a choice to be removed in order to reconcile it. We would define it as I must punish myself in order to make amends for something I wasn't able to do. I wasn't able to save those people, so I need to be punished for that. We punish ourselves all the time. So it's on that level, but it's totally not quite on the human scale. So I see his soul from this event, it sort of evaporates and it comes here to Earth. This sort of, I experience it now here on Earth. And it sees Earth as having so much potential, so much beauty, so much glory, so much here. And it reminds him of a beautiful version of his own home that he wasn't able to save this home. but maybe he could help Earth. Maybe he could save this place. Maybe he could keep this place pristine and beautiful and safe. And he does believe in himself. He does believe that his soul carries special wisdom and special keys to unlocking mysteries and helping to raise awareness. And it's all very honest. None of this is deceitful at all. It's very honest. It's very natural. It's very smooth. There's not a lot of the same human emotions related to it that I would expect. But it's very smooth feeling. It's a very smooth experience that I'm translating here. I'm asking him if he feels that he's doing a good job for humanity and for planet Earth. All he says is, Abby, thank you. You're right. I'm done carrying this burden. And he drops the rock. And he tells me that what I really said to him was that he needs to give the human race the responsibility to take care of themselves. He's come here out of a responsibility, what he defines as a responsibility to help humanity. But he's realizing that he doesn't have the responsibility. He just thought he had a responsibility. But the human beings have responsibilities that they need to acknowledge, and he doesn't feel associated with those responsibilities anymore because I showed him this. He tells me that he does feel that he could now enter into this spaceship. It's not like a spaceship, though. It's almost like a frequency, and the frequency takes you and alters you and sort of teleports you to another frequency of a like frequency. And then you just appear wherever that other frequency exists. So you transform into the frequency, and then you become part of the frequency in the other location, and then you just become yourself in that place. That's kind of what it's like. It's not necessarily the development of a ship. It's just a completion and moving on. It's just totally able to move on, and the vertical wall just disappears. This weird rock with all the dinosaurs, just none of it matters anymore because everything was related to this heavy burden. And now the heavy burden's gone. Now he's free to do the next thing that his soul feels is his next inspiration. He's really a kind man. He is a really kind man. Whether you're a David Icke fan or not, it doesn't matter, because who we are deep down inside, we're really special. We are all really, really special, and we all carry very unique challenges, And the only way we can really appreciate each other is to truly know who we are deep down inside, not with judgment, but with heart, right? To really see into the hearts of each other. And the gifts that we can share is so beautiful. I'm learning so much from David Icke today. It's really a lovely experience. Okay, so I just want to finalize this thing. There's nothing else that he has to share. This whole thing feels complete. There's nothing else. There's literally nothing else. So that's what I'm meant to share. Wow, what an unexpected experience. I expected there to be versions of anxiety, sort of like an explorer, an adventurer type energy, a historian type. I expected to have different energies than what I stepped into. It wasn't necessarily natural human emotions. It was really peaceful. Then it was really kind of, it is this, and then it is that, and then this is the reason why. It's really specific, and it's giving justice to the specific reaction or relationship with that, and it's processing things differently than human beings have emotional attachments to literally everything, and we get vulnerable because our emotions are so extraordinary. We get vulnerably attached to so much. So this was definitely not what I expected. So I'm sending special vibes to David Icke's soul and saying thank you for this beautiful experience, and it was just a joy to get to know you. And I want to thank all of you too for joining me on this journey with David Icke. And if any of you are ever interested in exploring a psychic session with me, please visit me at my website at abbeynormalswisdomquest.com. I'm also on Patreon at Abbey Normal's Wisdom Quest. Thank you all again, and I wish you all a wonderful day.